some advice that I would give to younger people about taking advice is to realize that you go to certain kinds of people for certain kinds of advice, and to remember that everybody is kind of like a counselor in your life, or not counselor. They're part of your counsel. So like, you know how the president has a cabinet and he goes to these different people specialized in different things because he appreciates their opinion on the topic? I think you need to have that in your life with people, and you need to realize that like the person you put in charge of like the treasury, the money guy, may not be the best at like life decisions, or like, you know, the person who is the defense secretary may not be the best person to handle housing and development, right? In much the same way that like Dan, the dude who's like, fuck it, yeah, you got to go out there, you got to make money, you got to risk shit, like whatever. He may not be the person you go to for the safe answer or like the safer choice. Don't think that the information that he's giving you or the advice he's giving you is going to be safe, right? Because it's not. It's for a certain kind of thing. You want to do something crazy and you want somebody to tell you it's okay. Dan is the kind of guy that you would go to. If you want somebody to honestly sit with you and like actually tell you what's what, I think Steven is a better person to go to for that than Dan by a lot. But even Steven, even Steven like has a narrow view on the way that he thinks about problems and nuts and bolts and things like that. And I don't think he considers things like emotions and whatever the way that you might. So like if you love your family and that's part of the reason you want to stay somewhere, Steven, who doesn't seem to have that kind of like relationship with his family, may not be the best person to go to for that, right? He's not going to give you that dimension of things. So maybe you want to ask your mom, like, what does mom think about it? Well, mom wants you to stay home, right? Mom wants you to be nearby. Mom doesn't want to lose you, whatever, or whatever your mom is like. But that's not how my mom is. And you just have to temper like the advice and how you're processing it based on that, and know that you go to different people for different kinds of advice, and that at the end of the day, you need to take all of them and narrow them based on that kind of person and the kind of advice, and then make a decision based on that after you've done that. But I don't think a lot of people do that. And I think a lot of people go to the same person for all kinds of advice, and I would advise against that. What's one thing you wouldn't go to Steven for? Anything related to like relationships or human on human interaction, probably. Like, I think I'm much better at human on human interaction than Steven is. But if I wanted to do like business stuff, I think it would be better to talk to Steven about that. Like if I wanted to do like a Twitch collab or something and I was like on the fence about it, or like needed help with phrasing or something, like I think he would be the person I would email and be like, hey, I know this is asking a lot of you, but like I'm struggling with this thing. Like I think that's the kind of stuff I would like ask Steven about. Just put your family in every cabinet position so you're always right. 5. Yeah, maybe that's how it works in some countries. You're not going to go to the Secretary of Agriculture on how to do counterterrorism. I guess it depends on the nature of the terror, right? Like if you know, Islamic terrorists start burning fields in Idaho or something, maybe we want to like hit up the Secretary of Agriculture, figure out what the fuck's going on. Why are they attacking the soybeans? Well, you see, the have a unique relationship with soy. Like, I don't know, maybe it's something there's something there you don't see. I don't even know if people are terrorists, so don't look into that too deeply. I throw out Middle East country names, I don't really know them. In your presidency, promise me you'll put Destiny in charge of the Treasury, Lumiru as Secretary of Education, and Turing as Secretary of State. Ira is press secretary and Pixie is assistant to the idea. Oh, wow. What is this list, Neum? This is so cringe. Hold on. I think a lot of these positions are bad. Destiny in charge of the Treasury. I would put Destiny in charge of like the intelligence agencies or something. Wait, no. Obviously, we have to put Wicked Supreme in charge of intelligence agencies. Yeah, Destiny in charge of Treasury. I could see that. That's okay. Oh, DGG is the senior advisor. Imagine that, dude. I have like a list of topics that I like reach out to DGG about. Like, all right, guys, I need to pick the collective brain. I need to go to the think tank. Like, what do you guys think about this? Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. SOE is Secretary of Education. Yeah, why the fuck is Lumi in charge of that? I wouldn't put Lumi in charge of Secretary of Education. That's dumb as fuck. I'm pretty sure you had somebody much better for Secretary of Education in your list. Okay, why would Turing be Secretary of State? Wouldn't Dylan Burns be Secretary of State? And I certainly wouldn't put Lumi as education. I would put Vaush as Secretary of Education before I would put Lumi Roo, to be quite honest. Who would I put as Secretary of Education? I would put Dr. K as Secretary of Education, dude. I think he's way better at communicating to people than Lumi is. IRI's press secretary is pretty pog. Pixie could not be assistant to the president, though. I don't know if Pixie would make a good assistant, to be quite honest. Like, honestly, from what little interaction I've had with Bose, I think Bose would be infinitely better for the position of assistant to the president than Pixie would. Like, I think Bose is pretty on top of shit. She seems like she's got her life together. Picturing Destiny bringing up rape analogies during a normal friendly dinner. No, bro, I gotta go send him to talk to the Russians, bro. He has those RT connections. Maybe there would be some controversy around my presidency because I hired this Russian-backed fucking American propagandist, Destiny, Stephen Bonelli III. The Taliban/Monsanto wars have begun. Denims is head of the EPA. I could see that. Denims is head of EPA is Pog. Destiny needs to be press secretary so he can dunk on the fake news media. Look here, you slimy fat. Like, that's not even a real question. I think the real question here is, like, Pakistani people are just Indians that are not Indians. Ooh, careful with that. I know those two countries are at war, bro. You gotta be sensitive with that. Who will be the secretary of memes? Know Nothing. I like Know Nothing. I feel like I want Know Nothing in my cabinet. I'd put him in charge of memes. He's pretty memey. Even if he steals them, I don't care. I think we should run a Black Ops memes campaign where we just steal. He could work together with Destiny on that because Destiny is also good at stealing memes. Destiny should be press secretary. Imagine those mad as fuck press briefings. He'd go hard on dumb questions. Do you know how many people are dying in the Middle East? You're just talking about pulling us out of there and betraying our allies and trust and respect. Where were you when Trump was doing this? Where were you when Trump was doing this? Where were you when Biden was doing this? Where were you when Obama was making the cages? Trainwreck's press secretary is Poggers. Dude, that's a good idea. Trainwrecks would be really good for that. I think Lumi does better educating and IRI is better press secretary. IRI is a good press secretary, I think. IRI is very pressy too. He has like the aura. I think he has the aura for it. I never watched Dr. K. He seems mean. Dr. K seems mean? I think that's a way bad read, to be honest. But if you've only seen him in passing, that makes sense. Big Boss Bose will be the new Mad Dog Mattis. Dang, put Bose in charge of the military? Pac-Man is a perfect... Ooh, yeah, but I don't think Pac-Man's good at, like, actually giving answers to shit. I feel like Pac-Man's a little slimy. Who'd be the best chief of staff? Oh, I don't know. Who would be the best chief of staff? What does the chief of staff do? They're in charge of everybody else? They keep everybody in line? Is that what they do? Or they manage, like, the White House staff? Airstriking Syria is pretty cringe, not going to lie. Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask my Secretary of State, Dylan Burns, on the topic. I defer to his judgment. Not a fan of CNN's clickbait. You know what? If the American people elected me to be president, I've seen what makes you people vote. I know you don't care about fucking foreign policy, so let's not pretend. I wouldn't even campaign on it. I would just be like, I'm going to put somebody smart in charge of it. Who cares? You voters certainly don't fucking care, so as long as we're not going to war, I don't think people really care. John Zerka. No, I'm not letting Zerka anywhere near the White House, bruh. No memers. No memers. Maybe he could be an advisor to freaking Know Nothing. You know, honestly, if I entered into like a Nixon period where everybody is criticizing me, I think I would put Zerka in charge. I would put Zerka as like my, the person that talks to the press. I think that would be funny. Just take out the competent IRI. Take out IRI and put in fucking Zerka. Like, you know what? This fake news media, we need a different approach. I'm sorry, IRI, but I need to bring out the big guns. I need to bring out a memer who will just come out here and not answer questions. And I would just tell Zerka to meme with them, dude. Just screw with them, dude. Give them the most complicated answer or whatever. How many Patreon dollars for Booksmart's 2024 campaign? I don't know, bro. That sounds like we need a Kickstarter at that point. I don't think that's a monthly expense. This bit would be amazing if it was animated. Bro, it would. If anybody wants to animate it, go ahead. I won't copy strike you, I promise. Just link me so I don't find out in passing about it. Bastille would be a good pick for Secretary of State. No, he's full of shit, dude. I wouldn't put Bastille in charge of shit. Like, I don't think Bastille knows that stuff. Dylan Burns seems to know that stuff. Zerka would only abide 5+ seasons. That's okay. He'll serve his purpose, bro. He'll serve his country well, and he'll be let go. Jesus Christ. Bastille Attorney General? Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, Bastille is Attorney General. You know what, though? Maybe I split that position into two things. Maybe we need an Attorney General, but maybe we need a Defendant General. We need someone to defend the dumb fucks and, like, represent their voice. Maybe that person should be Lecture Fan. We need 2 lawyers in this White House, bro. We need lots of lawyers. We need everybody we can get. All hands on deck, bro. I need Lecture Fan in my White House. I need to understand how the conservatives are thinking. I need someone who's tapped in. Maybe Lecture Fan will be for my my bipartisan support. He'll be my man who reaches across the aisle. Booksmarts, who do you put in charge of the FCC? Ooh. I you know what? This is hard. I think I would put Asmongold in charge of that. I think I'd put Asmongold in charge of that. In charge of the FCC. I think Asmongold can be trusted for such a position. That may seem out of left field because I never talk about Asmongold, but that's what I would do. I feel like he's a level-headed dude. I think he would do good in the position. I'd like to see him try. And if he can't, then I think Soda Poppin's another like cool person I could put there. I think people need to be a little bit based. They need to have like a pinch of base to them to be the FCC person. Like I need to trust their general judgment on most things, like overriding. And I feel like those two in their commentary on like bans and whatever are good. Soda Poppin less so, but definitely Asmongold. Devin for FCC. Ooh. No. Devin's much, maybe this is a business problem I need to get over because the advice is that you should pick people that are smarter than you, but I don't trust Devin. I wouldn't trust Devin in FCC. I feel like he would start pulling levers in ways that I can't understand. It would start tripping me out. I wouldn't trust him. I don't want an industry insider. I need somebody who represents the interest of the creators, bro. And I don't know if Devin is that. Devin Littlefinger Nash. That's a good reference, dude. That's a good reference. XQC for head of intelligence. His stream sniping abilities are proven worthy. I think that wound is still fresh, bro. I think he's still banned. That's so bad. For those of you who don't know, XQC cheated in fucking Twitch Rivals. He stream sniped somebody. It's fucked. He's been really playing. He's been pushing that line a lot, like when Destiny was like not caring about rhetoric, and he's like, "Fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna say whatever the fuck I want." And then he says like a stupid fucking comment, and he gets in trouble. I feel like XQC with all the Among Us shit was like really pushing the boundaries of how much of an asshole he could be in games. And I think it ended up coming to a head with that, honestly. He memed too close to the sun, exactly. It's not very XQCL. I'm not a big, like, XQC fan. I don't know a lot of, like, stuff about him, to be honest. Booksmarts, I don't agree with Twitch. Banning for Twitch from Twitch Rivals, not Twitch to site. No, I think it's got to be Twitch to site. I think that's fucked. Like, yeah, I do think he needs to be banned from Twitch as well. I think that's totally fair. I don't know. Booksmarts, put Hark Dan in charge of housing development. That's got to be the best one so far. I love that one, dude. Secretary of Evictions. We got people in these houses and we need to get them out, okay? We got a problem, dude. People are sitting on properties they can't afford. Oh no, that's awful. I can see them peaking and stuff. That's Booksmarts. It's not fair. Platforms shouldn't be banning anyone. Ban bad actors and disinformation. That's all I care about. Sure. He's a bad faith actor when he fucking cheated at the video game. What do you mean? We're on a website where the whole point is playing video games, and it's widely accepted that cheating is like not good. And he cheated in front of like tens of thousands of people, didn't he? on a thing that was like for money and was with other partnered streamers. Like, I don't know. That does seem to be bad faith and like against the entire like I don't know. This feels like it's so obvious you should get banned for it. I don't know. Twitch isn't for video games. What are you talking about? What do you? Okay. Well, if that's where we disagree, then that's where the conversation stops. I think we're too far apart on this one. You're like a communist, dude. You're too far gone. Also, Fall Guys is a joke of a game, so it's hilarious. Anyone takes anything around that so seriously. I guess so, but like it's not just taking it seriously. It's like I don't think taking seriously is equivalent to like not wanting people to cheat. I think not wanting the people to cheat is like over here on the spectrum of like being too like prude about stuff. And I think like what you're talking about, let me scroll back up to it. This message is interesting to me. Like if we were playing cards or something for fun and we had chips and it wasn't for money and I figured out you cheated at it, like I don't think I'm taking the game seriously if I was like, why did you cheat? Like if I'm upset with you for cheating, I don't think I'm taking the game seriously. I think that's like a basic courtesy thing, like beyond that, but that's my opinion. Do you separate art from artist? As much as I can. You know what's funny? Hey, let's talk about pedophilia for 2 seconds. So recently I've been getting into an anime